Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm your host, Jeff Howard, and I've got Ryan Alan Petti on Zoom. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how's it going, Jeff?
Excellent. All right, so we just did an interview, and of course, at the end of every interview, I start up another recording, and we do the 4 questions. Ryan's a super talented filmmaker. He wrote, directed, and produced the film An American Childhood that played at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival in 2021. And it's going to be in the Discover Indie Film TV series in Season 5, which is coming in March of 2022. So excited to talk to Ryan. But everyone who does this podcast, devoted to indie filmmaking, also gets to answer the 4 questions, which are favorite films of all time, an underrated film, an overrated film, and a lesser-known film that people should seek out. I won't even bother nagging everyone to go watch how to watch stuff on Prime and all that. I'll let Ryan jump right into his answers for favorite films.
All right. This is the toughest part of the interview, I think. I've been thinking about this more than any other thing since we scheduled the podcast, but it's tough to narrow everything down into these categories. But I'll probably make some friends and some enemies with this list. But here we go. So 3 of my favorite movies, just to kind of give the broadness of what I love in a movie. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is probably my top. And just because I love Coen Brothers, and they're so good at creating these depthful characters. The dialogue is so well written. It's colorful. That movie is just a beautiful movie. The characters are so deep, and the dialogue is so amazing. It's one I always reference as far as like, that's what a great movie is. And, again, the Coen Brothers are so good in what they do and so unique, and not a lot of people have really matched that. And again, just the colors and everything is great. The other one, 3 of them, it might seem a little commercial, and oddly is Ocean's 11. And when I started thinking of like movies that are on TV and I can't turn off, that they're on and I have to watch them, it might be cliche, but Ocean's 11 and Steven Soderbergh does such a great job. And again, he's like me, where he's a full storyteller. He kind of writes, he shoots, he does all of it himself, and it's a perfect kind of movie of just stuff going on and multiple characters. It's funny. There's moments of seriousness. It's just a great film. And it's, again, not one you would really, think of as being a really, I don't want to be too, a lot of people give some really independent answers, but I love, good movies and that are just really entertaining. And let's see, the other one I have is Casino. We talked about Scorsese a little bit in the interview, but it's when we talk about music intermixed with the cut, and he just from every cut or shot or zoom in or pull back, it's synchronized to the music, and it's long. I mean, I love Goodfellas. I love even just The Irishman, but that story by itself is just when it intercuts with the music and the scenes, and you're on the casino floor, and the color and the lighting and the shots and the performances. It's again one I would never ever like turn off if it came on the TV.
For sure, and I can't help but notice that all 3 you referenced, your three among your favorites. 3, I'm sure your favorites go well beyond 3, but yes, they are definitely all from auteurs. Yeah. You can definitely tell that there's a vision behind, those are visionary filmmakers. The Coen brothers are out of this world amazing.
Amazing. They're so unique. And again, Paul Thomas Anderson is another one of my favorite. Like Boogie Nights is such a great movie. There Will Be Oil, such a great movie. There Will Be Blood. Sorry, There Will Be Blood.
Well, and I have to say, I love that you chose Ocean's 11 because I think Soderbergh's genius. And people do love to highlight the artier films he's made. Mm-hmm. But you watch Ocean's 11 and he puts as much vision and art and style and finesse into that commercial film as he does into something like, I love Schizopolis. I hope it's not later in your list. Like, I love like a little tiny film he made like Schizopolis, but he doesn't slack off when he makes these big ones. He keeps them just as interesting and honestly just so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and you would think even just the photography would be a little lower because he shoots everything himself too. But it's amazing. It's great, and it's so the timing of the flow of everything and the characters and the dialogue is just it's great. And even Ocean's 12 was pretty good. Ocean's 13 was all right, but just Ocean's 12 too, the same thing. Just kind of you have this ensemble of characters of just great actors, and it's one of those films too, which is like, I would have loved to be on the set for that film. There's some films like, man, they had a great time making this movie. And again, it might seem commercial, but it's one every time it comes on, I can't turn it off. It's great.
You know what? During pandemic, we with the kid, she was old enough now. She was 13 when the pandemic started, so we would do movie binges. And of course, first it was like Harry Potter, and then it was Marvel Universe and this and that. But at one point, we did all the Ocean's films, including Ocean's 8.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Ocean's 8 is great,
and they hold up. I'm sorry, they do. They're just great. They are really great films. It's a great movie series. I think it's a highly underrated movie series for sure.
Yeah, no, it really is. It really is. And when we talk about movie series too, just some of the ones I was thinking of, Back to the Future series. I love the Ghostbusters series, including the new one. Not that other one that we won't talk about, but the new one, the Afterlife, it's so good. It's so nostalgic. And, my brothers and I, we always remember those lines from the movies. We quote them all the time. And again, Back to the Future 3 too is probably on that list too. One of my favorite movies. Every time it comes on, I can't turn it off. It's just
the Western.
Yeah. And Zemeckis too. He's so amazing. And even just, I love Spielberg films too, and Minority Report almost made it on my list. Again, one of those like commercial ones, but just the world they create, the style, the bleach bypass of the film, and the music. It's just it gets me excited. Those are the kind of films that just get me excited.
Yeah, I always thought that Zemeckis was one of those directors who could get highly uncommercial ideas into a commercial film and somehow get it past that studio structure and get it through and still have the quality there. I think that was a skill that was very easy to miss, and just think he makes good films. He is subversive.
Forrest Gump, he's really an amazing filmmaker. It's what encapsulates everything you want in a movie. It's exciting. It's going to make you cry. It's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you think. And just an amazing storyteller. So it was very hard to come up with just a couple.
No, it's super hard. It's super hard.
List of them. Yeah,
it's just fun. It starts conversations.
Yeah. How about Tarantino? Geez, how did I forget about Tarantino? Just the amazing, unique style that he has is just it's incredible. It's a great movie.
Yeah, and he's interestingly divisive. It's interesting, but anyhow, what's your underrated?
Underrated. Now, it did win some awards, but I still think it's pretty underrated. Jojo Rabbit, I think, is a really, really great movie. It's so cute. It's kind of funny. It's so slapstick, and the colors are just amazing. The production design is amazing. It's just another really, really great movie.
I'm willing to say that anyone who thinks that's not one of the best films that ever made.
Yeah,
that's why it's underrated, because I think Jojo Rabbit's just perfection. I can't imagine
this to down there, but just because I don't think enough people know about it and how great it is. So I don't know what that movie's about, or I don't want to give it a shot. But it's
I know the title is not congruent with the film and the subject. It's tricky, but and it's weird. It's actually weird for people to watch a film.
Scarlett Johansson.
Like that. She's amazing.
Brilliant in that movie. I think the best acting she's done.
I cry so hard at that film when the two kids are dancing to the German version of Heroes. Yeah. It's partially because we've lost Bowie, but oh my God, that film, when it's funny, it's the funniest film ever. When it's sad, it's the saddest film ever.
Take you on a roller coaster.
It's so good. So good.
Right down.
I agree. It deserved Best Picture. It didn't win it. It's underrated.
Yeah. No, exactly. I know it won some awards, but I think there's not enough people who have seen that movie.
I think they did that thing, not that the Oscars have a single mind, but they did that thing when they said, okay, Well, we'll have to give it best screenplay because, like, when there's an amazing film that's not going to win best picture, then it gets the best screenplay, right? Like Pulp Fiction got a screenplay award, and that was it.
Yeah. But the other one I wrote up there, which again, I'm surprised this movie has been so divisive lately, is Don't Look Up on Netflix. It's not the greatest movie in the world. It's got a lot of stars in it, but the concept is hilarious. There are just a couple scenes in there that are just really, really funny. But it's been really divisive as far as people say it's a piece of shit, it's garbage, and some people saying, "Oh my god, no, it's hilarious."
I find it hard. I find the criticism hard to understand because it's. Yeah. I think the only.
It's scary, I guess. It's really
scary. That's my only. I think it was excellent. I really, really enjoyed it. But there was times where, as a viewer, I was like, "It's too close to It's too close to real life." It is a wonderful farce of what we're dealing with, but it's almost like I can't laugh because it's too true, you know?
Yeah, no, that's why it's scary. It's some of the scenes in there that are supposed to be so ridiculous, but are so on point. I don't want to give too much away, but then when they go on that news program, oh my God. And when they there's a speech they give in the end, which is with the title of the movie of Don't Look Up, I don't want to ruin it, but it's so brilliant. And so, again, I think maybe the people who have a problem with it is like, it's too close to home of what we had gone through in those in the past few years. So but again, I the performances I think were really great. And
yeah, I thought it was great. I certainly hope it gets some Oscar love because
yeah. I hope so too. And I hope people look at it with a different light and just again enjoy it. It's funny.
I definitely think it's McKay's best. I think.
Oh yeah,
I like it better than Vice and
Vice was another one too that was just so good and unique. And just when you intermix something serious to scare the shit out of you, and then all of a sudden it's just hilarious at the same time, is such a cool mix. Like you don't know where to go. You're like, oh shit, this shit's getting real, and then all of a sudden you're laughing your ass off at the same time, which we need. We need to be laugh at this absurdity of what's kind of some of the stuff we've gone through in the past few years. So just to have that jovialness, and maybe it just scares people, that movie, a little bit, but it was
yeah. But it was thoroughly successful. All right. Well, I think I got a hint of what's coming from during the interview, but go ahead and hit me with your overrated film.
I will hit you, and this is tough. I hope I don't lose a lot of people because I love them at the same time, but I'm hurt by what they, I guess, have done to the industry. The Marvel movie universe, I think, is a little bit overrated just because it's made so much money. And again, the original Spider-Man, I love. Even the new Spider-Man, I love. But they made Spider-Man kind of over and over and over again, and they're just these kind of massive movie. And I think the only reason why I put it on overrated, it feels like it has pushed out some really good independent work. Like we talked about in the interview about these movies that can't really be made anymore, or these dramatic kind of movies, good stories that just like Shawshank Redemption and stuff that just have no market anymore. And I feel it's the Marvel universe that has kind of pushed some of those stories out. But again, it's hard because I love a lot of the movies too. I really do. I don't like what they're doing to the industry as far as pushing out some of these great stories.
Yeah. And I think, as someone who watched all 22 with a 13-year-old during lockdown, and we did it in chronological, I got the website that had the chronological order. So you watch them in the correct order instead of the order that came out. And it's like, there's a lot of flawed films in there, but they had a good ending. So I think everyone lifts up the artistic merit of the MCU, but it wasn't 22 great films. It was a handful of, there was a good film and then an okay and then good and then and then they just and then I think they kind of hit a stride towards the end there with Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man being funnier.
So what is your favorite Marvel and what is your least favorite Marvel?
Oh, that's tough. Well, my least favorite it's a little easy to either be like Hulk or Iron Man 3.
Okay.
Like by then there was just, I'm one of those people.
Too much, kind of the same kind of
when
thing.
I saw, Iron Man came out, and then by Iron Man 2 or 3, I was like, why on earth would I go to a comic book movie when it's just hero, villain? Villain almost wins, then hero defeats villain.
That kind of lost me. They took the same template and used it over and over and over.
Over and over. And then it just got interesting because of the Thanos story. I think when Thanos is on screen, it's interesting. Yeah. And when Thanos disappears, it's pointless. Ooh. But I don't know. That's too little. I think my favorite might have been Infinity War.
Yeah, everyone talks about that one. Yeah.
That one, or when they got funny with Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man. Ant-Man's a fun family film.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen Ant-Man yet, so I should give that one a shot.
Yeah. Obviously, when you... when you're casting Paul Rudd as a superhero, you're like not going after the same...
And he did a great job in the new Ghostbusters movie, too. I mean, he's no Rick Moranis, but he still did a good job.
Nobody is a Rick Moranis, I gotta say.
I gotta wait for that guy to come back.
Yeah.
But that was a really tough one for me to say, just because, again, I love the movies, just like everyone does, but I just feel they changed the space a little bit. They changed.
Yeah. Although, honestly, that's right. Isn't that what everyone was saying about Spielberg and Lucas films? They were saying that the Star Wars films and Jaws destroyed cinema by saying now the studios are just hunting for things that'll line people around the block. Like they.
Yeah. I love popcorn movies. I mean, Jurassic Park. I love them. And the later ones not so good, but the original ones were amazing. And I love popcorn movies, but I just feel like they're taking the same template and just kind of have gone over it.
That's the thing, is there's so little you can do in the superhero genre that's honestly, I think that's why Infinity War is the best, because the good guys lose.
Yeah. That's nice that they kind of shift up the
yeah. And I love even today. I was I believe I said to my nephew today that Thanos had a good point. That we need to be able to feed everyone, But anyway,
yeah, and they're so good, but just they push other things out of the market. So my little known movie, this is another really, really tough one, because there's a bunch of just really good. Some of them I just couldn't remember the name of. Like, what was that sci-fi film when they went back in time in the cave and it was just so good, or these little things, or Coherence, where it's just like I love cool ideas where they just, it's so simple. It's one person, but it's such a great kind of movie, even to a point of just Blair Witch, of the idea they had at the time was so groundbreaking. And I love that, just taking a concept that's so simple and making it into this movie. But what I chose for this is what I think all filmmakers should see. It was a movie a while ago called The Making of and God Spoke. And it's on, I think, Vudu or something like that if you look it up. I think it goes mainly under And God Spoke. It's about these guys. It's an older one, but it's about these guys who want to make a movie about the Bible. And it's just all these things we go through as movies. Like the PA didn't deliver the film. Like they go and have the meeting and the producers act like they're in charge and they walk away and everyone has the real meeting. It's this casting that they have Jesus walk on water. It's all these things we go through as filmmakers kind of like personified. It's a little hard one to find, but it's as filmmakers, no one really knows it, and it just kind of makes fun of the process we go through. And it reminds me of some independent projects I've worked on where it's, oh, fuck, why wasn't I rolling behind the scenes footage of this project? The documentary about making this piece of shit would be so much better than how the movie came out. Like, we should have been just rolling with our iPhones and got all this behind the scenes crap that happens that is so absurd. And this kind of, personifies that a little bit and shows some of what it takes to get financing, all the stuff you have to go through, the absurdity to make these movies, and just that journey, and how some people get financing for movies. Like, who gave you money and how and why? And it's just people that don't know what they're doing, just trying to do something. And it's just, it's a lesson in what not to do in as much as what to do sometimes, like working on a shitty project. Sometimes it's really tough, but you see, well, don't do that ever on a movie. And you just, so it's just a reminder, and it's a really good comedy. It kind of just laugh at some of the stuff we have to go through as filmmakers.
I mean, it sounds great. I'm going to have to see it. And I have to say, what you said about behind the scenes, oh man, indie shorts, you never have the extra manpower to, extra pair of hands to do that behind the scenes stuff. But boy, would it be telling. It would be so interesting.
Molten tape, stuff tries to get put together. The absurdity sometimes of is just, it's crazy.
For sure.
You should make a modern version of that. Maybe that's one of the things I'll do, is make a modern version of And God Spoke.
For sure. All right, sir. Well, that was a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks. It was great.
I appreciate your taste. Very, very good films you have named. And now I'm going to have to hunt down the making of And God Spoke.
They're hard to find, but it's worth the journey.
Excellent. All right. Well, here, I believe, you want to name your YouTube channel for people to check out?
Yeah, Storyteller Industries, my YouTube channel. I put a lot of the popular films I have on now, and just soon to come, a bunch of great features that I've been working on. So
fantastic! All right, now I will wrap it up with my closing spiel, which is, first, of course, I'll say, hey, listen to the Discover Indie Film podcast. You just heard a 4 Questions episode. Every other one is like this. So hey, subscribe, like, give it 5 stars. Be kind, be thoughtful, be nice to everyone you know. And hey, it doesn't cost you anything to give a podcast 5 stars, so do it. Or thumbs up, whatever service you're listening to.
Yeah.
And we talked about, in the beginning, I mentioned that Ryan wrote, directed, and produced An American Childhood, which is a remarkable film. That film is going to be in the next season of the Discover Indie Film TV series, which will be season 5, should come out around March 2022. So go to Amazon Prime Video, search for Discover Indie Film, and enjoy the first 4 seasons. When season 5 comes out, enjoy season 5 with Ryan's film. And you can, like I said, you can find that on Prime Video by searching for Discover Indie Film. If you want to learn about the podcast and the TV series, go to discoverindiefilm.com. And on social media, follow it at DIFWins. I don't know if we talked about Sherman Oaks Film Festival in this one, so I'll mention it now. An American Childhood wowed the audiences last November at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival. And you can learn more about that festival that we hold every November by going to ShermanOaksFF.com. And on social media, it's at ShermanOaksFF. And its sister festival that we hold every June is Film Invasion in Los Angeles. You can learn about that by going to filminvasionla.com. And it's at Film Invasion LA on social media. And the silly thing I'm doing for fun, if you are in the LA area, on April 20th, THC Cinema will be held at the Whitefire Theater in Sherman Oaks. And if you need me to explain what THC Cinema is about, you probably don't need to know what it's about. Just know that on 4/20 we're going to watch a bizarrely fun feature and then a 90-minute or so block of shorts at 7:30 and 10 p.m. And it'll be good times. And go to thccinema.com or at THC Cinema to learn more. All right. Hey, I did it.
Hey, Jeff, I commend you again for doing what you're doing with these interviews and stuff. It's really cool for us as filmmakers to be able to talk about our projects. It's so much fun, and it really kind of feeds our passion as well. So thank you for doing all the extra stuff you do for us.
Hey, thank you for submitting good films, man. There'd be no festival without your films like yours, and I appreciate the compliment. And Lauren, I love putting this out there too, because your interview and your 4 questions, I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that you end up making big ass features someday, and then, someone will be like, man, I really love that zombie horror film or whatever, whichever one it was, and then they'll Google your name, and then they'll find this interview you did like 5 years earlier, and be like, "Whoa, I get to hear this guy before he made it." You know,
just the idea. Yeah,
it's a fun little time capsule too.
Yeah, totally. I appreciate it.
All right, well, you have been listening to Ryan Alan Petti, and I'm Jeff Howard, festival programmer. So thanks, Ryan. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks, Jeff.
And thank you, everyone, for listening.